Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a while and I wanted to give you all a state of the arcade and an update on some of the projects that I've been working on and some of the stuff I got in the pipe coming up soon. Now, I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and sometimes real life just kind of kicks you in the ass and you get down for a while, but I'm doing just fine. You got to dust yourself off and just get right back on that horse. So now I'm going to go ahead and give you a walkthrough of what's going on in the arcade. Okay, so what started as home arcade modding quickly turned into actually getting real arcade games. So I've been getting these one at a time, and I just keep them down here in the basement. Whenever I want to have fun, I just come on down here. This is Smash TV. So I've got this running now on a JAMA switcher where I can actually play Robotron 2084 and Crawl. Then we've got Atari Star Wars, which is just perfect the way it is. Okay, we got a Street Fighter II Champion Edition with a Pandora's Box 10th anniversary, so we can play all the games on this one. Okay, and my favorite, Xenophobe. This was the world's first split-screen cooperative arcade game, and isn't it a beauty? Okay, so one of the recent mods that I did to Atari Star Wars was I added a rumble motor to the yoke that whenever you took damage, you get a vibration motor in there. However, that was a disaster and it fell apart. So what I'm actually going to be doing here is I'm going to be putting this mod chip in that lets you play the Empire Strikes Back on Atari Star Wars. That's right. Yeah. So this is going to be a cool video coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So for those of you who missed out on the video of my Star Wars Trilogy arcade, this was my first huge arcade pickup. It is my favorite piece here. This has been upgraded with a new sound system, new monitor, upscaled the display. This is the one that gets the most play out of the entire arcade. Okay, some of my earliest videos really took off when I did instructional videos on how you can play a bunch of light gun games on modern PC hardware. So a couple people have got in touch with me. They've asked for instructions on the Gun for IR, on the Sinden, but the really exciting thing, the Zenus X gun. Recently, I got a prototype early copy of the Zenus X gun that I'm going to be doing a review of soon. This is the first wireless light gun with full solenoid recoil, and it's good as an IR gun or a gyroscope gun. So stay tuned for that. Okay, now when I want to come up from the basement, I like to move over to the den and relax a little bit with one of my newest collections, pinball. So when I want to knock a few balls around, this is the place for it. Okay, so what I'm doing here with this original Star Trek table, the beeps and boops from the 70s got really annoying, so I put a custom soundboard in that plays sound effects and music from the original show. Meanwhile, the Playboy 1979 table right here was a complete restore done by Todd Tuckey and the guys at TNT Amusements outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Check out my earlier video on that. That was an amazing day. Then, just for good measure, I got the 2002 Playboy table from Stern. This is something that I'm going to be working on in the future, doing LEDs, color LED, LCD swap. This is something I'm going to play with for a while. In the meantime, it's just a fun table to have because, here, come over here. Come on over here. So the greatest thing about this table is look out. Look, there's girls all over it. There's girls all over this table, okay? Okay, the newest addition to my collection is an original Tempest arcade cocktail table. Now, Tempest was an amazing popular game with Atari back in the early 80s. They made like 30,000 cabinets. However, they only made 1,600 of these cocktail tables. So when I saw this for sale locally close to me in Pennsylvania, I picked it up right away. It was not working, however, and I did have to do a few repairs. Okay, so one thing was happening is the game kept cutting out randomly and wouldn't boot. So what I actually had to do here is I had to actually replace the switching power supply to get a steady 5 volt that was going to stay consistent to the board, because it kept flaking out and the game would turn off and then nobody would be able to play it anymore. Okay, and that wasn't the only thing that was wrong with this Tempest. The color vector monitor only had blue and green. There was no red. And seeing as some of the bad guys are red, that kind of made the game unplayable. So I had to do a couple repairs back to the monitor. So what we did here, we had to get all the way down to the deflection board, and we had to completely replace all the transducers and the entire deflection board on this color vector monitor. It was a giant pain in the ass. Okay, and when I'm done playing pinball, and I just want to get away from it all, I come on up here to the loft level, 3rd floor, and this is where I go to my office when I want some hot one-on-one action. It's the racing arcade. So what we've got here is a custom racing multicade made by Retro Lizard's Custom Arcades. This is one of the first cabinets that he ever built. And since I got it up here, I decided to go ahead and network it to my main desktop PC so I can do back-to-back racing. So right now we can play dozens of 2-player racing games I've done a lot of tutorials on how to get these games linked. Check them out. And if you guys have a couple more that you'd like me to know how they work, let me know, and I'll make those videos next up on the list. Hey, thanks for tuning in for this State of the Home Arcade. I'll be making some future videos. They might be better than this. They might be worse. You won't know. Tune in. I don't know.
That was awesome. There's so much going on. That was awesome.
So cringy.
I love the beginning when it quickly like cut to the hot tub. It's like, I'm doing great.
I'm doing great.
That was awesome.
Oh man,
that's like so many new games you added. There's like a lot more stuff going on there now.
It's fun. Well, guys, we haven't live streamed all summer. I haven't seen you guys on YouTube since June. So, summer vacation's over. We're back to work. Time to get caught up on what everybody's been doing in our collections and, stuff. So, I've added a lot of stuff.
Vacation. We're like 30 to 40 something. We don't get days off anymore for this kid.
I was trying to find some excuse as to why we haven't been streaming. Just like, so.
It was good to take a break though on the summer. It was like a good way to just like relax a little.
Exactly.
Well, Joel had his birthday too. Joel had his birthday to celebrate. My wife's birthday. I was in Vegas, which is why we missed the strippers. Otherwise, I would have been there myself. Vic,
I had my birthday in August, end of August.
Oh yeah, you have it in August too. And Brad, your birthday is when?
It's in 3 days.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit. Okay, so all around the same time. Mine is coming up next month. So yeah.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. So yeah, I've been I haven't been making a whole lot of YouTube videos. I've been doing a lot of shorts on TikTok or the occasional little thing if I'm at an arcade, but like produced YouTube videos, I haven't been doing them in a while. And some friends said, if they were wondering if they could find some way to, encourage me to make a video and get back on the horse. And, and it was fun. It was a fun night. That was like a 5-minute video, but we kind of just had a house party that night. So, it was pretty great. So it's a good way to get back into the YouTube thing and a good way to be streaming with you guys again. So, what's been going on with all of you? And like, Vic, I know you got some stories. We're going to come back to you in a minute. What's going on with you, Joel? All quiet there in the corner.
Let's do a round then. Well, I guess.
Joel can start.
Yeah, Joel start then.
Summer was crazy. There was a ton of shit going on in the summer. I had family come over in August. So the beginning of August, my in-laws came into town, and then family came into town, and then my wife surprised me my wife had a surprise birthday party for me. So that was really cool. And then, there was a week break in between family there after the in-laws left and everybody left. And then we went out to Oregon for about 10 days. So August was a shit show for me for being in and out of town. July, I got my first pinball machine in July. Remember that fiasco?
Yeah.
July 3rd, I ended up getting the Flash pinball machine, and I basically rebuilt it. Dave Sosa came over, who only lives like 10 minutes from my house. So when I became small buddies right now, he had me join the Pinball League in Buffalo, which our first league session is this Saturday night. So I'm really excited to go hang out with him. What else? There was tons of shit. I got knocked down the CNC machine by building stuff into almost one day for cutting stuff.
Nice.
Personal projects, I got that trilogy working perfectly.
Your stand-up, yeah.
Yeah, I got the stand-up working perfectly. I added the subwoofer to it, and that motherfucker is loud.
Wow.
So I had people on my birthday, I had it on, and it was rainstorming earlier in the day, and my buddies were like, God, is it thundering? I'm like, no, that's the subwoofer to trilogy. It was like shaking the garage. It was crazy. What else did we have going on? I got a Nintendo Donkey Kong Jr. cabinet from Captain's Auction in August. So I got that in. I showed you guys pictures of that. I just replaced the monitor. I'm a fucking moron though. I went to go adjust the sound on the converter board, and it's like a little pot. Right. And it wasn't turning. It's got a Phillips head screwdriver hole in it, and it wasn't turning with the Phillips head screwdriver. So I took needle nose pliers and I went to just gently turn it. And I broke it.
You never gently turn anything with needle nose pliers.
Yeah, right? Dude, I'm fucking Wreck-It Ralph when it comes to all that shit. So there's that. And then I got the version 2 of the gun box cutting up today. I was sending you guys photos of that.
Is this with the new micro PC setup, or
that's with the new micro PC setup?
Finally.
And Ray's gonna rip my ass to shreds for that.
Bastard.
That
What
was
do you
cool.
use a mini
It was like the
PC for
3D
what,
print of
3
the gun
years, 2
holder.
years?
Yeah, so I took the holster
Oh, you have it?
and
Let's see it.
no, it's in the garage. I didn't put it together, but I took the 3D printed gun holsters and I measured those out and I put that into the holster hole. So I'm going to put that on all my cabinets now. I'm just going to adjust the hole for that holster because it's.
It looks like you have 2 holes on like the side though, so you're gonna put like a piece of wood and then it drills in from the side.
I'm going to drill it in from the inside. I'm going to use brackets on the inside of it,
Right.
and then I'm also going to nail it together too. And then I'll have a hinge on the back to lift it up and down. I don't know if I'm going to put a lock on the front of it yet or not. I might just put something on the inside to lock it down to hold it in place, kind of like what GRS does.
Cool.
Yeah. Plus, I made that 2 terabyte Batacera build. I made the 4 terabyte build. I had a lot of shit going on in the summer. I did the Comic-Con. Got my Facebook profile picture of Sergeant Slaughter. That was like the coolest.
Oh yeah,
moment.
was that during the summer? Wow, that feels like it's so long ago.
it does seem like that was a long time ago.
I know, right? That was the week before the 4th of July. Like it was the weekend right before it.
That was
Wow.
so awesome. Sergeant Slaughter playing your arcade, playing the character Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so cool. So cool. So like it was Friday night, and so the Comic-Con was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday night, of course, it was going to be dead because the Comic-Con's only from 4 to 8, right? It's only 4 hours that night. So I was literally right around the corner from the celebrities, and so there was 2 rows of celebrities. I was right around the corner from the first row, and I was dead center down the lane of all the other celebrities, like all the X-Men comic voices or all the X-Men 97 voices were there. Michael Myers, Jason, they were all down my row. Rikishi was like 10 feet from me. So it's Friday night, and I peeked my head around the corner around like 7:30, and Mick Foley was gone, but Sergeant Slaughter was there, and he was literally the only person on that side. Everybody else was gone. Like Shannon Elizabeth wasn't there yet. There was like an American Pie reunion there. If you guys ever seen Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, the daughter, she was the main character, the girl. She was there signing autographs. That was cool. So I walk over to Sergeant Slaughter, and I'm like, I want to get an autograph, and they're like, well, you can, if you pay $100, he'll put you in the Cobra Clutch, and we'll take a photo of it. And I'm like, well, how about instead of doing that, how about I pay you guys, the $100 to, come around the corner, and Sergeant Slaughter just stands there and takes a picture with like WrestleFest up on the screen. And his agent's like, and Slaughter's like, go see where it is. So him and his agent and I took a walk right around the corner, and it was like right there. And he was like, oh yeah, we'll be there in 20 minutes. He's like, but come back. He's like, you still gotta let Slaughter put you in the clutch. I'm like, all right. So we went back. I paid him the $100. He put me in the Cobra Clutch. We took a bunch of photos. I got the coin. Putting me in the Cobra Clutch was the coolest fucking thing in the world.
I was gonna say
it really was. That made my fucking day right there, dude. That really made my fucking day. And he sounds exactly just like he sounds on TV. He's got that deep voice,
Like 35 years later.
Exactly. He sounds exactly the same. He looks old as hell, but he sounds exactly the same.
But when he's all done up in the costume, you almost don't see it.
Oh, dude, he's huge. He is huge too. He's got to be like 6'3", and he's he's hunched over still. So he did all that, and I was like, even so, I was like, thanks, guys, no matter what. And I walked around the corner, and I was doing my thing, and all of a sudden, his agent comes around the corner. And he's like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Oh."
Back away from my guy.
I gave him a little explanation of what the arcade was. And apparently Sergeant Slaughter has one of his own, but he only has 1,400 games in his. So I pulled up WrestleFest, and he knew exactly what to do, and he was doing it. And so my buddy Danny was there, and he took a video of it while I was, talking to him. And that was like the highlight of my summer right there. Like I could die, right? And then Sting was there on Sunday, so I brought my daughter with me, my oldest, Izzy, and she wanted to get Sting's autograph too. And I'm like, all right, we get there, before everybody else because we got the VIP passes, to get in because we're basically working it. And there was already a line when we got there at 9:30 in the morning for Sting. I'm like, yo, go get in line. And I'm like, if you need me to relieve you for a minute, I'll relieve you for a minute, but go get in line. So she stood in line for 2 hours. She was like 15 people from the table. and the line was like wrapped around. It was crazy how big the fucking line was. So I got this. All the security guards knew who I was, and Izzy had on the Retro Lizard shirt. So I snuck over there and was like, she was just holding my spot for me because you guys know I got the spot over there. You know, all the security guards were coming up and playing the arcade and checking it out. It was a real experience. The guys want me to come back in October, but I think I already missed that spot. So I'm going to be back there next June to do that. But
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's basically my summer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you think the turnout came out though with you doing that like Comic-Con? Did you get like a lot
orders.
Of? That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get any like actual arcade orders, but I got a couple retro gun boxes. I got some external drives, and a couple guys asking me, still following up with me. When am I planning to open an arcade?
Cool.
So
that's awesome.
What are you watching, Ray?
No. I'm working. One of my old friends from high school. He's starting his own business. Him and some investors want to open up an actual karaoke like bar, like a full size one with 12 rooms. And he's asking me to provide karaoke for them. Right. I was just telling him like the plus and pros and minuses of it, and then I was showing him like, oh, you can play Marvel vs. Capcom on my karaoke because I can run RetroArch on a base. I'm like, this
how cool is that, right?
But you have my karaoke, Joe. To play it on that something so ridiculous is just funny. Right.
Oh, that's another thing. I bought one of Ray's karaoke machines, and I have the idea of making a karaoke-cade. With his setup inside it. So I still got some stuff in my brain that I'm working on over here. For those tuning into YouTube and TikTok, we're dual streaming between TikTok and YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're on my TikTok dual streaming. It looks like
Mr.
we got
Fancy
65.
with more than thousands of followers on TikTok. You
right?
You can't live stream on TikTok.
Listen, I work for that.
Like Streamlabs has what is it?
No. I'm using the TikTok Studio.
Yeah, but TikTok doesn't let you live stream. Yeah, it doesn't let you live stream unless you have 1,000 followers or more.
So if you go to TikTok and you pull up my TikTok, you'll see basically StreamYard.
That's so cool. That's like how I do it, but I have like 2 other computers, and it's just like mayhem. And the worst part about that TikTok is apparently for you to really get the views, you got to set up both the horizontal and the vertical like mode.
Yeah, you got to do the whole thing.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah, it does work.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Vic, do me a favor. Could you just knock down your mic volume like 10 or 20%? Yours is always the loudest for some reason.
He's Italian. He's supposed to be loud.
No,
he's also got the echo chamber down there.
No, I even have a new mic. Hold on, wait. How do I lower this? Hold on.
The mic is too good.
Settings on the bottom? No, just
Hello?
settings on the bottom.
No, what about now? How about now? Hello?
Hello?
Mic check. Hello?
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
okay, I had to do that in OBS.
Shocks my speakers for some reason.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, dude. And I've been streaming Star Wars Outlaws, dude. Star Wars Outlaws is fucking awesome. Dude, it's
really
so awesome.
I've seen like mixed reviews on it.
I'm loving it. And Shotgun Sean, he's in the chat. He's loving it too. It's a really fun game. It's not monotonous. It's not exactly repetitive. It's enjoyable. There's a lot of stealth. If you ever played Mafia 3, it really reminds me of Mafia 3 or even Godfather 2. A lot of similarities to that because of like the stealth moving around and sneaking around and getting people. You're not exactly killing too many people when you're doing the stealth, but you're still doing a lot of sneaky stuff, especially in the Imperial bases. The Imperial bases are cool as shit.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, you guys, I just saw something really funny about. I do really like Outlaws. I haven't started playing it, but I've been a fan of watching Joel's live streams and everything. But I have also been watching a lot of like the glitches and whatnot. And there's been a lot of like jokes online about the AI or some of the bugs in the game or how it maybe needed a little bit of polishing. But people are having a field day with the AI. Wait, let me just do a screenshot here real quick. This is present share screen.
Okay, no excuse for me to refill my ice and liquor.
Ray's like, I don't like Star Wars.
Wait.
Hey, you're not supposed to be in here.
Well, that is just a blank screen. That is weird.
No, we see it.
Oh, is that doing it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was doing it.
All right. Wait. Right.
You're not supposed to be.
What are you doing?
He's bringing it back.
You can't see.
Bring it back.
Bringing it back.
You're not supposed to be.
Bringing it back.
What?
So
Acid?
here we go.
Hey, you're not supposed to be in here. All right. You're not supposed to be.
Oh, I get it. That hasn't happened to me yet, but
Thanks, Eric.
that's good. Actually,
That's probably what I see a lot of is that people say it's like there's like a glitchy game, but
I mean, sometimes the glitches make it better. Like, I was doing a stealth, and I was in one of the Imperial bases, and I was trying to sneak up on the guard, and I was literally right next to him on the side, and he didn't see me. Like, literally, like, standing right next to him on the side. Like, he's facing straight, and I'm like this.
like, hey, how's it going?
All right, yeah, exactly. Like, like Beavis. Like, go ahead. Nice and slow, baby.
I mean, wasn't like the same thing happened with like a Cyberpunk 20 whatever?
2077.
It had like a year or two of like shithole glitches where it was so poorly optimized.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor was the same way. A lot of these games are just coming out and they're like, we'll fix it and we'll fix it in post. We'll fix it after launch.
Yeah, that pissed me off actually because I'm a big Pokemon fan because I'm from 1990 and so is Vic. But like when Scarlet and Violet came out, it was so poorly optimized, and it's still shit optimization by the way. And the Switch is like 8 years old right now. It's
older than that.
Huh?
Switch is older than that. I think it's 20.
Is it?
No, it's 8. I think right now.
I thought it was like 9, 8. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's running the same freaking processor as like the NVIDIA Shield 1.
Wow.
The first gen, the Tegra.
Plays Marvel versus Capcom though.
And then I was like,
I wonder how it plays honestly on the Switch. Like, I wonder if like how the gameplay is on that.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very low requirement game. Even emulation plays perfectly.
Really, if anything, MVC2.
That's
MVC2 is a lot of fun.
That's more than enough. That's more than enough. Yeah, you could play that.
You think so? I don't know. I'm also worried about the connectivity because Switch is online is just kind of.
That's a different.
I haven't played online. I've just been playing on the console.
Oh, you bought it on the Switch?
I bought it on the Switch. I'm gonna get it on stream.
I'm about to buy it on Steam.
Joel was talking about buying it on the Switch during our last stream in June.
Yeah.
So you know that he was going to get it day one.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna get it on Steam too.
Yeah, because Eric, Big E, is in the chat already. Number one, congratulations on your third child! Yay!
Congrats,
wow!
Eric.
I haven't spoken to Eric in a while.
Hey, and then number two, he bought Marvel's Capcom Collection first day too, and was like, "Hey Ray, when are you gonna come play?" I'm like, "I have work to do, man."
I even saw B Kong was streaming it.
Yeah, I know. I had to like catch up with so much shit from Vegas. I was like, we'll deal with that later.
I wonder
at like 10 o'clock at night. What's that?
Word. Not like at 12 o'clock, like at midnight.
Yeah, like 10,
what?
11 o'clock. That's when I'm playing it.
Yeah.
There's no work at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
For you.
Is it easy though, like to connect? Because B was posting like codes, like you enter this code and then you connect to him.
Oh,
Is that how it works?
Friend code?
Friend code.
Oh, he's playing on Switch then.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
I mean, if there's a friend code, he's got to be playing on Switch, right? Isn't that how it
Steam
works?
has a friend code. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I have no idea.
Works. What the
I
fuck?
had Eric on my friend code, so it should be.
I have no idea.
You're the only friend. You guys are my only friend code.
You guys are
My only
Our Facebook chat is a friend code.
Yeah, once in a while at like 2 a.m. I'll see tall ass Mexican playing Street Fighter 6 on my Steam notification. Yeah,
Is that Eric?
And then he just walks in his living room and sees a tall ass Mexican playing his Switch.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Eric is actually 6 feet like 1. He's like my height.
I've seen pictures of him. Yes,
Yeah,
You're
seems
like 6'2".
Huh?
You're like 6'2". You're the
I'm
tallest
6',
Asian known to man.
like, yeah, but he like we don't have anything for scale. I didn't have a banana when I met him, so I couldn't do that thing. But
We're not talking about a dick,
no, I mean,
How many times do you have to tell Ray that? Like constantly.
right? Comfortably.
but yes, he is very tall, which is very ironic.
You think he's cut?
Huh?
Oh, you're talking in the chat, he'll write something if anything. It's wild.
He is cut. Yeah. I
Ray, we don't want to know.
How do you know that?
Because
I don't think Ray thinks he knows what I'm talking about.
When I mean
I
like,
hope he doesn't.
I hope this is innocent Ray right here, right?
No.
How was Vegas, Ray? How long was that?
Ray, what was this trip in Vegas about?
Vegas is funny. All right. So I've been to Vegas like 3 times already. Okay. But this time I wanted to book out the nicest place I could. It's my wife's birthday, and now I financially can do it. So I booked the Wynn. The Wynn is nice, okay? The food is shit. I'll tell you that, dude. Anyone that's watching the buffet stuff, that's a lie, okay? Their buffet is cold as crap. Yeah, no, it's like $70 or $60 a person for the buffet, and that's me using the buffet credit that they gave us. Okay, it's not worth it. But the hotel room is exquisite. That's for sure. All right. Okay. And then when I went there, I had a nice Filipino gay guy as my receptionist. And then he told me, look, if you want, we can upgrade you to the nice tower suite, which is pretty much like their second highest one other than the villa. Yeah.
At a cost. And what was the cost?
Actually, not that bad. It was $300 a night.
All right.
I'd take more for less.
I thought you were going to say something else, like you had to do something. You had
no.
Let's just say you don't pay with money.
Yeah. I would have sucked a dick if I could have to get an upgrade, $1,200 upgrade. Actually, after tax it was $1,600. But anyway.
Oh gosh.
It's not that bad. But the point is that the suite was nicer than my apartment. It's bigger than my apartment. I had a full window view of the Sphere. I was literally across the street from the Sphere.
Yeah, did you see any cool shit on the Sphere?
We went to the U2 experience.
I meant on the outside of it.
Oh yeah, the Sphere is a full.
Does it blind you at night in your hotel room?
No. It's
in your windows.
Did it have an eyeball up?
Yeah, it had an eyeball. It had a smiley face. They had the U2 advertisements. Yeah, it's full rounded LCD screens, which is pretty impressive.
Any breaks in the LCDs, or was it clean?
No, clean. It's a very expensive ass setup. And then we went to the U2 experience, not U2 because they're obviously not playing there constantly. It was a digital recording, but
a 360
reproduction. But it was so HD that you couldn't tell it wasn't the real guy in front. The rendering was ridiculously sharp.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was much cheaper. It was $100.
That's not bad. Yesterday they were doing the UFC fight, and it was mind blowing.
I'm probably gonna get canceled here, but the music sucked. By the way, the YouTube music was.
I think YouTube has 1 or 2 iconic songs.
They were playing that album that they forced on everyone's iPhone.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I hated that. I was like, how the hell did that off there?
Okay, the views were great. The music horrible. Every chair has a rumbler built in, though. It has a bass shaker.
Oh,
cool. And then it was cold as fuck. They air conditioned the shit out of the Sphere. Vegas was 105 degrees. It wasn't even that hot because it was dry heat, but they air conditioned it down to 60 in there.
I mean, it's still pretty hot.
Yeah, but in the Sphere it was cold. And then the other thing was music horrible, sound great. The only 2 songs I like. They sang Elvis and Frank Sinatra. I just like the old ones.
Interesting.
Yeah, my wife loves which is ironic because she's older than me and from China.
Vic is the biggest Sinatra fan, by the way.
Huh?
No. No.
It's okay.
It's too old for me. It's too classic for me.
Yeah. Too classic for you. We're the same fucking age, man. Dude.
I don't know that much. I'm not into music that much.
But then I realized, all right, here's the funny part. Every big hotel in Vegas now, right? The nice ones, the Wynn, the Bellagio, whatever, right? They all have Chinese managers now after COVID. They freaking put a letter in my suite saying, oh, welcome to the Tower Suite from General Manager Li Long. I'm like, okay. And then I really start paying attention. They set up fucking Chinese feng shui luck blockers every fucking where in the casino, all right?
They knew who's spending the money.
Yo, they set up lions in front of the casinos. Everything was strategically placed. If you don't know feng shui rules, you wouldn't believe it. I lost $2,000 there, and then
wow.
All right, fuck this shit.
Because of lions?
No, lions is just the entry point. There's more inside. The way they place it, the way they do roulette is 000 roulette, and then minimum bet's 25, almost all the time. Most of the time it's $100 minimum bet, and I play big when I gamble. So, but when you go to smaller casinos, you have a higher, you actually win. more easily. I was like, fuck. So
We got a lot of overhead to pay for.
Yeah, a lot of overhead to pay for. And
all those gun for ARs you've been selling.
Word, we gotta go sell more now.
Actually, I had one client pay for the whole trip.
That's why the price is
there you go.
One
Plus
client.
grade.
Okay, so I gotta shout him out if he's watching the
Oh God!
Richard Shakur, if you're watching this, thank you for your.
You have to look up his name.
$9,000.
My wife thanks you for the trip. Thank you.
Yeah, he bought like $9,000 worth of guns for me in one shot, plus like a custom PC, and he's ordering another like $4,000 worth right now.
So what? Instead of making the guns, you just took his money and went to Vegas?
Number one.
I know. I'm kidding.
And he told me to bet $8,000 on black on roulette. He's not much better than I am with the spending.
Oh God.
See, that Chinese labor you've been charging is just saving you all that money.
But the good part is Chinatown in Vegas now is cheaper than New York, ironically, and tastes better, and you get better value you get more food for your money. Which
That's
is
cool.
And Uber, there's like under $10, which is
really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a very open space, so it's really cheap to Uber everywhere.
Dude, when I went to Meta, it cost me $135 to fucking Uber from JFK.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you should have called me. I would have taken you. Shit.
I was in Seattle back in February, and I did a lot of Ubering just between downtown and the University District.
Yeah,
they passed a new ordinance in the city. It has to do with the new minimum wage, but they grouped Uber in on that. And so it basically translated to, long story short, it translated to much higher Uber fees than usual. And I didn't think about it till I was tallying up my checkbook. I spent over $500 in Ubers on an extended weekend in Seattle.
That's crazy.
Wow. Holy crap.
I spent $300 in one day on Ubers in New York.
Well,
that's wild.
The nice part is it's all expensible for us, not you, Brad.
Not
you. Yeah, tax write-off and shit.
Yep. Yeah. Tax write-off.
Somebody just texted me that apparently Power Putt live on Technoparrot.
Yes, it is.
Oh, they were talking about releasing that.
Yeah, but something about like there's a PDF on how to run it because you'll get an error.
No, you have to do a bunch of SQL server shit.
You know who is really into that is Jason Humi. I can't say his last name, but the chiropractor. Jason the chiropractor.
I don't know. Power Putt, I never played it.
Have you ever talked to Jason?
Yes, I have. He's a
on Facebook a lot.
No, but like, have you ever like talked to him like on the phone and like heard his voice? No. He 100% sounds like a chiropractor.
I don't know. Every chiropractor dude that I've ever met kind of strikes me as kind of like somebody who used to play football in high school, kind of thing. Like,
right. He definitely played sports at some point, but he's like very hyper, high tension, or not high tension, but he's like very fast talking. You would think he's from like New York the way that he talks, or East Coast, but he's very he's very fast talking, very yeah. He's cool. He's a cool ass dude, but he talks like he's a chiropractor to me. I've met some pretty chill chiropractors in my time. He's a really great guy.
So on that note, since the last time we streamed, Technoparrot's been on kind of a
props to Technoparrot.
They finally listening and putting some games up for free.
I mean, guys, come on. We were complaining for literally years.
Yeah, that they do Terminator and Aliens. 2 years.
But they have taken almost. I saw one guy who was like, "Why am I still paying for a Technoparrot? They literally have released everything for free. Are they about to go under? Are they afraid, like since the Yuzu thing?
We're paying now so that we can help support them more.
Yeah, I don't mind paying to support, but yeah, so whoever's not into who's not updated, they took off Aliens, Armageddon, and Terminator in one shot.
Yep.
Point Blank X and
Transformers
Rising.
Didn't they just release Jurassic Park too?
They did.
Jurassic Park was like, to be fair, if you're watching Techno Gods, Transformers still boots like shit. It's still really slow on Technoparrot.
Oh yeah.
Argon
who cares? It boots great
faster.
though.
Huh?
It still plays better than the standalone version did, though, in my opinion.
It plays the same, but the boot time is something weird about it.
See, I actually think the standalone. What is Vic doing? I think the standalone.
Vic, mute your mic when you jack off.
Yeah, right. I think that. Oh, he was getting a drink. I think the standalone took longer to boot than the Technoparrot one day, because when you gave me the Technoparrot version, that booted like almost instantly, and the standalone version for me, like
is this?
Shadows Rising.
Okay.
This is so on the standalone version, like my screen will go black and then it'll go back to Windows and then it takes a minute and then it goes black again to the game. And then the game boots. On Technoparrot, it just boots into the game.
I think you have it reversed. It should be the other way. The standalone boots faster. I've tested it extensively.
Yeah,
maybe it's my PC. Who knows?
Yeah, the link that you posted, it runs very well.
Yeah, it just takes a minute to load on my end. That's all.
Oh, here's the other thing. I don't know how Argon did it. Again, shout out to Argon LaFoe. The standalone standalone Transformers and Point Blank has resolution options.
Ooh.
It can upscale to 4K nicely.
The standalone version has AMD problems though. I got a white screen on the standalone version. I didn't get a white screen on the Technoparrot.
Really? I haven't tested on AMD. I tested a Technoparrot on AMD. Point Blank has some weird thing with initialized resolution issues. All right, so now let's talk about this. All right, I've been telling this motherfucker to fucking get a mini PC and use it for his builds for what? A year plus 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Mini PC.
I even streamed it while we were at VIX. I brought the same bloody mini PC over and showed him how cool it was. He still wouldn't do it. Now he finally got into it using the same model with the rainbow LEDs, very prideful and everything.
So you and Neon Gaming Bitch, formerly known as She Lion, have been up my ass for almost about a year now to get me on those mini PCs. And this mini Ryzen, I am so impressed on this. This mini Ryzen 7. I think this one's got 16 gigs of RAM. I was able to run everything. And Too Spicy has an AMD fix too. I got to give you that fix, right?
You got it working?
I got an AMD fix for it. And it works on this.
Full screen.
Yeah, full screen.
Send it to me later. I'm
I will.
That. Interesting.
So the only game that I didn't get to work on my drive is
Scarlet Dawn.
No, Scarlet Dawn runs on this. That was my biggest thing, was getting Scarlet Dawn to run. Scarlet Dawn's got to run at 1080p, but it's still running on this at full speed. It might be running like 30 frames per second, but it's still playing the game full speed, which is fine. Let it run at 30 frames per second as long as the gameplay's fine, right? So all the House of Dead's work on this one. The only game I didn't get to work was Elevator Action Death Parade.
That's weird. I've heard people having problems with that one.
But Invasion works.
Yeah.
So Invasion works, but Death Parade doesn't work.
Correct.
Well, Death Parade's the older one.
Right, exactly.
Right. The older one actually loads and says NVIDIA PhysX. I mean, fair enough, right?
I feel like there was one more game that I'm thinking of that I couldn't get to run either. Blue Estate ran just fine.
Blue Estate is okay.
Yeah.
A little bit slow, but
I mean, as long as you just got to make sure you're running at 1080p. That's it. And with the AMD Adrenalin software, as long as the game has an EXE, if you need to limit the frames, you can limit the frames. I had to make the adjustment to Aliens Extermination because when you load it up, it was on crack. So, it was on meth. It was just like fast as fuck. So I had to adjust the VSync and lower the frame rate to 30, and that fixed it.
Yeah, that was a problem people had years ago with that game.
Yeah, I still run into that problem apparently all the time.
PCs, that's the same thing. They just they don't cap the FPS.
This mini PC runs. So I mean, my build is up to 230. I didn't try Jurassic Park, but I'm sure it runs. But this build's up to 235 light gun games, and 234 of them run on this. So we're just missing one game. That's not bad.
No way.
No, at 1080p, I'm more than willing to make that sacrifice on Death.
Yeah. But then not to mention again, you're going to be putting that inside the portable box, right?
Putting this one in the portable box, this exact one. This is the one I'm going to use because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
No.
So I'm going to use this exact one. It's going in the portable box, and then my 4 terabyte build. I tested all my games, one by one in the emulators at least, up to PS3, Namco 357. I didn't try Xbox 360 on this, but I tried Yuzu, and I tried God of War for PS2, PSP. What else did I try? A couple other Technoparrot games.
Wait. You did Namco 357 and RC PS3?
On this.
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
It has enough CPU
to if you get another PC for your gun build, you got to get one of these.
That's funny because I actually remember that's the only time the one PC upgrade I did on mine was because I couldn't get the PS3 games to run on my old PC.
And I moved to the Ryzen 5s because
720p only though. Just saying that.
That's fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Right?
You can't really. You probably wouldn't be able to
running this at 4K anyways. So if you're trying to run this in 4K, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Up to PS2 and 4K is doable.
You need an actual graphic card for that. But this has an extension inside. Here's the inside of it. This has an extension cable to where you can hook in the SSD right here. So I'm using the M.2 as a C drive, and then I use a separate SSD as the gaming drive. So that in case the gaming drive fails, you can just replace the SSD. And then plus you have all the memory in the C drive to add more games onto the C drive, so I don't have to expand my SSDs and raise prices.
Right. How big is the M2 drive that it comes with?
512.
Okay.
Right. You can't beat that. And I'm running a 512, I'm running a 512 for the guns. It's 512 for racing. It's 1 terabyte. So we have almost an extra 400 gigs just on the C drive to add games to it. So I don't have to raise prices at all on that. So that's fantastic. This thing is great. So all my 1080p builds are getting this, especially since and all my racing builds. All my racing builds, my Guitar Hero is getting a 1 step down because you don't need a lot to run the Guitar Heroes. That's going to do the 5800U. Is that what it is? Or is the 5700? 5800U.
5800U right here. That's one. Well, actually not much smaller. But
I ran Scarlet Dawn on that one.
It's 30 maybe.
I think that's the one that I got. Somebody sent me for the Touch Edition. That they sent me.
I think more than one up for a Touch Edition. Yeah.
You know, Scarlet Dawn is very graphical intense, and it sucks up a lot of juice from your graphic card. So that's why I was like, if this thing can run Scarlet, it's going to run a lot of stuff. And Ray had, like I said, he's been telling us in the chat to use them for how long, and he's been like showing us the deals that he can get on them and shit from Amazon, or the discounts, I should say, that comes with them. And it's like, that's worth it. You know,
you guys knew how big the PC was that's in my original GRS cab there. There's not a lot of space in there, and there is a full ATX case in there. It is jam packed in there.
Yeah, this was the best deal. This one,
imagine just upgrading to this.
That would be amazing.
Removing your ATX case and using it.
It also shows you what technology could do, like how technology.
Actually, you know what I should do, Brett? I should send you one of these, and we should take the hard drives out of the Optiplex behind your racer, and put this there.
Yeah.
This will just sit behind your monitor.
Yeah. That'd be huge.
That would be really huge, and you probably might even get a better performance out of it. And that PC's got a 1650 in it, so then you got an extra 1650.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. And so, what are these mini PCs? What are those running?
Ryzen 7.
I meant dollar-wise. What are they going for?
Oh, we don't want to talk about that live.
Yeah. Offline. Let me know.
Offline. Yeah.
I guess I got some spares. So Ray's
got like a suitcase full of them.
Right. Well, let's put it this way. So it cost me $650 to build a PC with a case. It's like $575 to build it without a case. Right. I don't have to adjust my price, because I'm spending just about the same amount of money on the mini PC that I am for building the PC. All I got to do is open it up.
Yeah.
2 USB ports in the front.
Yep.
4 in the back. USB-C for high-speed transfer.
Yep.
Okay, so Joel's version has a SSD connector, like the 2.5-inch SSD. Mine.
Let's go with these.
I can literally just pop my shell open, and then I can actually put another M.2 on this one. I can go 8 terabytes on this one, even faster.
Wow.
Well, an 8 terabyte M.2 is expensive as hell.
It is, but not relevant to the point. I'm never going to use that. But it's mine has 1 terabyte inside, and I can add another 4 on the second without an adapter, full speed.
Which is great.
I would say, do you know what the speed of that M.2 slot is?
Gen 4.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. This one has DDR5 RAM.
Yeah.
Oh.
DDR5 RAM now.
And I think it's up to 4.4 gigahertz.
Yeah. So if anyone wants one of these, this is a 7940. This is an 8845 HS. I have one for sale, one extra one for sale, and I have a 5800U for sale too.
What are you putting on it though? I mean, you're saying you got it for sale. Are you putting something on it?
No, I'm selling it sealed in the box. They're going to come completely sealed. All right. You don't have to pay tax. Shipping is free. If anyone wants it and sees the stream, you'll get a deal.
Yeah. You know, Vix was just saying, technology is just like keeps, Moore's law is not dead.
Ridiculously fast.
Right. Because it's funny. Just earlier today, I was doing some house cleaning. I was looking down on my desktop PC in my office upstairs, and it's the big Micro Center pre-built like monster. Yeah. But I bought that It struck me. That was 3 years ago, like this month that I bought that, at which case my old main desktop PC is what went in the shooter cabinet. But I haven't upgraded computer. I mean, my main desktop computer, I haven't updated in 3 years. And I'm like, oh man, a lot of shit's happened in 3 years.
Yeah, that's like now you upgrade. Yeah.
We've definitely had computer advancements in the last 3 years when it comes to software and graphics and getting smaller.
A GPU can now run off the PCIe port alone. You don't need
power. Extra power. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not like a 4090 or something, but
we're talking low pro too.
The new generation of RTX 3050.
Right, and that's where the real advancement is coming in, because I keep up on the new stuff, and you see that the 40 series and the 4090s and these monster cards, but you aren't paying. I'm not paying as much attention to what's happening to the previous generations about like smaller, more efficient, discrete graphics. And yeah, like for example, that PC that I bought 3 years ago has got a 3080 in it, and it's a beast. It's a monster. It's huge. Nowadays, like these micro PCs are probably doing that. So.
Yeah, not to the 3080.
Not to the 3080.
Yeah.
It's about like a 1070, but it's like 1/6 the price and the size of my hand. So
yeah,
I was talking to Keo about these the other day because Retro Gaming Guy posted a video about the mini PCs, and I think it was like a $700 or $800 mini PC he was using for retro gaming. And Keo was kind of ripping him a new one a little bit about it. And so I sent him a message, and I'm like, bro, I sent him the picture of the white one. I'm like, dude, this runs.
What's a mini PC for that price?
There's you can get a Ryzen 9 or an Intel 12.
So,
yeah,
well,
you can go pretty. They go pretty high.
I got nothing against him, but like he's getting sponsored products. So
right, but I was
the price point. You can get the premium one for $6.
Right, but I was showing him. I was telling him like, dude, this runs PS3. This runs Nintendo Switch. I'm like, I'm using these on all my 1080p builds. We're not running 4K, but these mini PCs, you don't have to spend $600, $700, or $800 on them. You can go a little bit cheaper, and you can still get fantastic performance out of it. And they're compact, and people are still putting these inside arcade 1-ups. So, and to have that mini form factor inside arcade 1-ups, it's very convenient to have.
But it rivals the old RetroPie, footprints.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. You're talking to Keo. Is Keo still doing RetroPies?
Yeah, he's still doing single board computers, and he was showing me that the one single board computer that he was using, I think it's like the X5. He was running Time Crisis on it on PS3. There was a little bit of lag, and I was noticing some video stutter. But I was like, bro, you don't get that video stutter on these PCs at all. Well, you don't get any of that on there. Like, it runs perfectly. So I'm like, I get it that it's running on there, but are you really going to play a game with a little bit of video stutter? Probably not. You're going to get annoyed.
Yeah.
So the one advantage of the single board computer is you don't have this. This is the one,
right?
The power adapter. You need 120 watt whatever to power this. So technically, the size is these two combined. So if you have an SBC, a single board, you can run off 5 volts. You can run off a USB port.
Right.
So I wouldn't go past PS1 with those.
It's not apples to apples on this.
Yeah, it's not an apples to apples, and it's not 1/3. But
some people do compare it and whatnot, but it's just like you can't really give too much comparison for those single board computers.
That's a very very different.
Yeah.
I wonder what the pricing is on a Pi. Like what's
a Pi is still like $100.
No.
You can still get.
I think so. I think like the Pi 5.
The Pi 5 is over 100. I think the Pi 5 might be like 150.
I don't
know. The Pi 4 is definitely around $100 still. But the Pi 4 has always been around $100.
$69 right now.
Here's the thing, though. I've been using those B-Links. I think it's the MN095. I think is the model number on it. It's the $130 B-Link on Amazon. And I use those in my Batacera builds now, my 256s.
The Intel one, yeah.
Right. I'm getting rid of these, sourcing out these Optiplexes from eBay and then waiting for these guys to ship it to me is murdering me. Yeah. It really is. Like, I can order today, and I can order 10 of them today, and I won't have them for like another 2.5 weeks. Because these dudes just, I'm not any more innocent when it comes to shipping and time frames. I can guarantee that right now, but this is eBay. If I'm ordering 10 refurbished PCs off of eBay and they're just no OS on it, Just throw them in a bag and ship them out. Basically, it shouldn't take 2.5 weeks for me to receive these fucking things.
Right.
So I'm basically switching over to those B-Link PCs for 130, just so that I can get them in faster and then push them out faster. I'm going to raise my prices $20, and I'll eat the extra $10 in tax.
I'm so happy you finally switched over. Oh, and Daniel Spy switched over to Launchbox finally too, after me bugging him for that too. I was just talking.
Was that like official? Is that his build?
That's his new build.
I don't know whose build it is actually.
Well, that's his new
cool
physical build is running a big box.
The big
right.
He's not a big guy on programming. I know that for sure.
Yeah, because the last build.
Ellie, yeah, but I noticed that his virtual cop had the Sinden border on it, so I'm inclined to think it's someone else's build.
Either way, still he makes beautiful stuff. It's
yeah, he's a hardware guy. The hardware is like
and then so it's where the software and hardware like mesh that he really gets involved. That's where he puts in LEDs and he'll start doing LED blinky because he wants to control his hardware.
So, today is September 15th, 2024. I'm going to make subtle pushes and see how long it takes to get him off Brook and iPac into GP 2040.
What's GP 2040?
You're pushing it.
GP 2040 is like a Brook replacement. It's like 1/3 the price. But the trick is it can do keyboard, it can do X input, D input, console input, or the more important part is on X input, it can physically assign player numbers.
But is it doing 4 players with, whatever 100 and something inputs like the iPad 4 has?
Yeah.
Because does it?
Yeah, and it controls RGB LED too.
Put this,
pull this board
up.
Huh?
Pull this board up. I want to see this board. Pull this board up.
Ray told us about this a while ago.
Let me do a
Scooney. Scooney? Are you like in the VPN world? I feel
Scooney.
like
He's Arcade Brigade. He's Scooney.
Okay, wait.
He did pie builds.
Okay,
that's why. Like, why does the name sound so familiar?
That's the Scoon, man. That's my boy. I love Scooney.
I thought I also saw him on VPins though.
I did Scooney and I collaborated, and I did the only those countercades. I did a countercade mod for him, and it was the only countercade I ever did. I won't do another one. Not because it was a pain in the ass or anything, just because I wasn't planning to ever market on those. So, but I did it for him because he's my boy. We put like a little mini subwoofer inside it. He sent me the speakers. It was we put a 10.1 inch screen inside it. It took me a while to do it, but I got it done, and he's still running like I'm pretty sure it should still be running like a champ.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I found. All right, here we go.
Hang on, Ray. Let me share the screen. There we go.
Yeah, okay. So, for people who don't know, this is called the GP 2040 project. So it's freeware that is that can be applicable to a bunch of like Arduino chips. Okay, but to make your life easier, you go to Amazon GP 2040. Okay, and here you can see all these pretty much Brook-looking boards, right?
Right.
Okay, you click one, $25. It's half the price of a Brook.
All right. But that's one single input.
Right. But the thing is, it can do every input. It's the same Brook board, same Brook.
So what I was asking was, does it have, when you buy an iPad 4, do they have one that looks like an iPad 4?
No,
where it has 4-player inputs. Otherwise, you got to use 4 of these.
Right. But
yeah, that's too much.
And you also need stable ID files.
Yeah.
But the thing is, stable ID is built in.
Well, if you're using keyboard mode, you won't need stable input files, but you have to program it. And then you have 4 more USBs that you're taking up as opposed to the iPad taking up 1. And the iPad, you can plug in the Ultimark trackball to the iPad instead of wasting another USB port. Yeah. And you can do the same thing with your spinner too. So you're actually making things more complicated for Daniel Spies by telling him to use 4 of those as opposed to 1 iPad.
Does Daniel use iPads?
But remember, he also had a console.
He was doing console. That's the thing. iPad is not console friendly at all. So what he actually did on the last build,
it is actually.
No, it's not.
Well, 4-player X output on iPads are a nightmare. You can't do 4-player output.
There is no 4-player X output. You use D input.
Right. So here's the thing. He was doing consoles on the last build. He did Switch, PS5,
and Xbox
Xbox One.
So you're not using arcade sticks on those.
He was.
Did.
Yeah, he had controllers or arcade
well,
sticks.
That's a whole other issue. But he did.
A whole other issue.
That's a different issue.
Wait. So he has the consoles hooked into the arcade sticks? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's what he was using Brooks.
And what is he using?
Well, he actually also has a drawer with controllers.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, but what is he using? Is he using an iPad? What is he using?
For Brooks for the sticks, and then the iPad is no longer controlling the actual controllers. The iPad is going for RGB LEDs now, just like mine.
What?
Oh,
yeah,
No, that's a mess.
Exactly. So
that's big. That's probably why he wrote there that it's like the most expensive build he's done.
Yeah,
That's a mess.
I can imagine what he was going through.
So
Oh
if
my
you
God.
do these four boards can actually assign player 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, you don't need to use this. There's one that's a smaller one for player 3 and 4.
I have to watch this video now.
You don't need to do that though, because you just
Hey Joe, remember when you didn't want to use mini PCs?
Yeah, but listen to me. But listen to me. The iPad keyboard mode is for the arcade games. You're not using arcade sticks on console games. You're not. You're just not. When you have a giant build like that, like a 20 terabyte hard drive, a 10 terabyte hard drive, you got 15,000 games, and you got up to PS3 or whatever. Even if you got up to PS2, you're not using the arcade sticks on the console games, because anything after PlayStation 1. And this is some PlayStation 1 games, not all PlayStation 1 games, but just about anything after the majority of the PlayStation 1 games, you need a controller to play those games. Otherwise, you can't play correctly. You're not playing Resident Evil with a control stick. You're using a controller. Right? You're not playing Gran Turismo with a control stick. You're using.
It sounds like his. What was the consoles he had? So he had the Switch. What? He had a PS5
and an Xbox One X.
Right, so his customer is probably like, I want to play Street Fighter 6 on my PS5, but I want to use arcade sticks.
But even with that, Street Fighter 6, you need an analog stick for that because you're running around in that one. You know, Street Fighter 5, you can use arcade sticks.
I hope not. I don't know. I don't have
No, not analog. 100% not analog.
I don't know.
No, regular Street. The only thing
guys, I mean, in his video, he pulled out the controller and he was playing like Mario Kart. He's like, you really want? I mean, you can play this on the but it's better on. He admitted that it was better on the controller, but he still had the option to use the arcade sticks. So
Yeah.
But now, what did he? I have to watch the video because I've been out. But what did he do? Is there like, does he have a USB like changer to go from console?
Yeah, well, it does. It's he has macros where it's like he actually has little pictograms depicting each console, and then one depicting a PC that puts the controllers back in the launch box and automatically switches the display as well. Like
I can only imagine the wiring, but he's got the skill and the patience for it. But I guarantee you, he's just like all the other customers that said, "Hey, I want to play Grand Theft Auto with arcade sticks. I don't care what you say," and he's like, "Fine, this is what you need. This is what we got to do."
I can't get. I just don't get why people do that. You know,
people. I'm telling you, dude, it's like
programming that. What a nightmare. Why is the Dos Equis guy in his spot?
And the Dos Equis guy.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's been like that though. In the beginning of
gaming bitch thinks Ray's Mexican.
The whole beginning of this arcade journey, everybody wanted to play every game on arcade sticks for some reason. They want to play Mario Kart. They want to play Metroid. They want to just play on arcade sticks.
Yeah, I remember I did a pie build with N64, and he had four player, arcade sticks.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, N64 on arcade sticks still kind of is tough too.
It's not possible, is it? That you need the C stick for that.
That's where it makes it tough.
That's why they were playing Smash Brothers on it.
Yeah,
N64 on a regular Xbox controller is a nightmare because you need A, B, and then you need the 4 C's.
Oh, you know what I do? I use it to the right stick.
I know, but that's kind of a nightmare. That's kind of like playing Tony Hawk like that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Vic, please come over to my place. I got a big ass box of parts.
I know you texted me. I'll be there definitely, and I got to measure up the spot.
It's $500 worth of parts and new ones too. I just got spring cleaning. Yeah,
I'll yoink it. Of course, I'll take it. I appreciate it.
I know. Yeah, you're gonna like what you get. Trust me, you're gonna like it.
I couldn't find much else that works well on it.
Look at the shit in my table right now.
Ray's such a salesman. Come over. You're gonna like what I got, but I want to get rid of it.
I want to see Ray. That's Ray in a long trench coat where he opens it up. Hey, you need a micro PC? Hey,
do you need a USB?
I went to Burberry just to see if I can buy like one of the like, classic trench coats in Vegas. I was like, fuck, everything now is not the made in Italy anymore. It's all the made in like Bulgaria, made in like China crap. Like, I'm Chinese. I'm not buying made in China crap.
Raisins Central Park selling the rat fur hats.
Yeah. Oh, so since we're here and we talk about time credit, let me show you guys my main project. I know a lot of people.
Ooh, wireless time crisis pedal.
All right,
for $99.99.
Yeah, bullshit.
4 payments.
Add an extra 9.
So this is an original Time Crisis 4 pedal. I've actually not me, but Eric has graciously had it powder coated for me. It's shiny, glossy white. But now I've done something that I've never done before. I filled the hole in the back with the pairing button. Okay, I've added external antenna, so it's no longer a Faraday box inside because it's all metal. All right, so the signal can go like 100 feet or 50 feet. So here, and look, the antenna. People are like, "Oh, why is the antenna so ugly?" It's removable. You can put whatever antenna you want. You want to do a small one, you can do a small one. But this is
that's clean. You got to drill
$99. You can remove the antenna and add your own.
Now that silver button in the back is just a huge ass button.
That's just one button for pairing mode. Just press it and it goes into pairing mode. This the hole was right here. This is now the USB-C flush mount. So there's no more cable coming out of it. Just to plug it in, charges, and it can work via USB 2. Right. And on top, I made a flush mount on-off button. Pressing it will just kill the power, and then pressing it on will turn back on. I've had this on for about 2 weeks. I still haven't lost battery power yet.
Wow.
I put in a big-ass battery inside.
So it's a combination of big battery and just a low draw on
big battery.
Very low draw. Yeah. I'm using a circuit I won't reveal here. I am working on a new circuit now, a very small one. It's
very vibrator.
Very tiny. You can use any 3.7 volt battery. I'm using a standard 18650 battery. You can replace it. All right. The antenna, this is a very cheap stick-on antenna. It's replaceable. You can unsnap it. And one switch, you can just, put whatever switch you want. But yeah, that was my whole project today. I was like using various tools to program this this chip.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. I love the wireless.
I was like, nope, this is just the one I'm making.
Yeah, the wireless is clean.
The wireless pedal, right?
You might as well add the. You could probably add the LEDs to it and still not lose battery life.
I never shipped you your pedal that I 3D printed for you, but maybe there's a way we can expand this to make it a little bit bigger, and maybe you can make a Bluetooth pedal out of the 3D printed one.
I could just have to drill a hole. Just one small hole for the antenna. That's it.
Well, once you see it, and once
you
see the inside of it
for
too.
the 3D printed one, it's not necessary because 3D printed one is plastic. It's not a Faraday box. The metal won't block the signal.
Oh, cool.
Time Crisis is full steel. It did block.
Right.
I tested it before. Internal antennas just don't play nice. Yeah,
that's amazing.
That pedal.
And shout out to Eric again for telling me like how to drill steel. I was not confident in doing this.
Would you use a diamond bit?
No, I used regular like metal bit.
Yeah, regular carbon bit should have been.
No, I used a brass one, but I wasn't comfortable drilling into this.
Did you do it outside on your porch?
No, I did it in my apartment, man. It's right here.
I'm thinking like metal flakes going everywhere. That's what I'm thinking.
That's my wife's problem.
Bitch, you want to go to Vegas again? Clean this shit. Damn, right?
That is a beautiful pedal, though. Like,
yeah.
Eric has like the powder coat and everything. He must have cleaned it. He must have like steel wool brushed it to like get it like.
The powder coat guy did that. Eric found the powder coat guy. It's really glossy.
He probably has like a guy that has like a sandblaster and will sandblast.
Eric did the plate polishing for me, so it looks like pretty much like new.
You know what's funny is I've been seeing sandblast kits on Marketplace near me for like 150, 200 bucks.
Get a sandblast kit.
They are not all equal. Careful, you can get crap.
Right? Yeah,
just a big tub of like sand, and then you put your hands in like gloves.
It's not.
Yeah, that's what they look like. It looks like an incubator almost.
Yeah.
Wait, no baby.
Yeah, but just like, I mean, I can imagine the sand is like just everywhere, but
probably.
I don't know what you would use it for. But
Vic, I want to hear your story about the weekend.
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay, so we're building up to Vic's big adventure. Why don't you fill in the crowd here with like exactly what happened when you were contacted and who talked to you?
Right.
I feel bad because I don't have any like behind the scenes like pics, but yeah, it was just a whole crazy like 2 weeks. It was like wild. So Jersey Jack Pinball reached out to me, but this is like 3 weeks ago. Ken Cromwell, he's the sales and marketing guy of Jersey Jack. And he just hit me up on Facebook. Like he found me somehow on Facebook. And he was like, hey, I love like your positivity. We want to send you a gift. I'm like, okay, like cool. He's like, send me your address. I want to send you a gift. And then sure enough, he sent me the Godfather poster. It's got like all the signatures and all that. I was happy about that. And then like a week later, they announced Avatar. Like they did their little like teaser that was like 30 seconds long. And then after that teaser went out, he hit me up again. And this again was last Thursday. I want to make sure because that was the hardest part was that it was like a 1 week notice.
Yeah, like almost no notice.
Yeah,
I had zero time to plan anything. So yeah, figure September 5th. He messaged me and he was like, hey, we want to invite you to come check out Avatar. We're going to call it Media Day, September 13. And I was like, oh, interesting, because you guys are going to do your reveal trailer September 12th. And he's like, if you want to come, let me know. He's like, Jersey Jack will pay for like you to come out. And I was like, whoa. I was like, you're going to pay for me to come out? That was a huge deal. I was like, I never heard of that.
That's
so I was like, let me talk to the wife and the kiddo. Let me get that all situated.
That's VIP shit, dude.
I was very shocked, like, when he said that. I was like, really? Then automatically, though, the first thing I was like, who else is invited?
Right.
Because I didn't really want, like, another John Wick incident like me and B. Kong had.
Were you the only one there?
I imagine if I was the only one, I would have freaked out. I would have cried. I texted him. I was like, hey, I could give you some suggestions of other people like I would recommend you invite. Because, like I said, I got flamed with John Wick. And then it was just like a long week. And then finally it came, but I messed up myself. I had a baptism that was Saturday morning, yesterday. Right? Today's Sunday, right?
Today's Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, I had a baptism on Saturday, yesterday. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to this event. The event was Friday from 10 a.m. to 5. And then we're going to go to an arcade from like 5 to like closing. And I was like, I really want to just go to the event, but then I have to come back for the baptism. My flight, and it was cool. Like the guy said, like, we'll pay for your hotel and flight. And my wife was making fun of me. She's like, you should have went to the hotel. And I didn't do that. I should have went, honestly, Thursday night. Anyway, I went Friday morning. I left New York at 4 a.m.
Wow.
I landed in Chicago at 8:30.
And they're an hour behind,
New York
too.
Time. It was like 9 o'clock in Chicago time.
Okay.
I landed. It was like 5 minutes from the airport. And I didn't realize how long of a day it was. So I feel like I was sleep deprived and I was dehydrated. And yesterday was awful. Like I was like dead. I was in the bed all day.
You're so not used to traveling.
It wasn't that. I thought I could handle it. I thought I could. And then I kind of like realized that I was like, you know what? I was actually awake a whole 24 hours. Like if you technically think about it. And I was carrying on like a backpack. That's what I bought when it was a backpack. Because apparently the plane tickets I bought, I couldn't even bring a carry-on. But I wasn't going to stay. I wasn't going to stay long.
You came home Friday night too? I
came home Friday night. I got in New York at midnight.
Wow.
Crazy.
Dude, I got home. I got out of the plane. And dude, I'm not the gross every day, but I fucking vomited everywhere outside of LaGuardia. I don't know. I was just like, yo, I was.
Been there.
Yeah, right.
People are like walking past, like, dude, this guy must have been partying. I was like, no.
Yo, it's the way down.
No, it's not even that. I think it was just like I didn't eat much.
Your body was shutting down. It was like travel was rough, and you had, like you said, you're leaving at like 4 a.m, so you're probably like not getting any sleep the night before. And
no, I felt like a kid, like on Christmas. I'm like, this is gonna happen. I'm going out to the thing, like, and it was really cool. At least like when I got there, it was kind of weird though. I was like the first one there, and it was like 9:15.
Did you think did you think it was going to happen again? Like,
yes, I was like, something's gonna happen. But then I kind of got during the week, a couple of like podcasters and streamers said that they got invited too. So I was like, oh, okay, it's not just me. But again, 9:15, I'm like, why am I the only one here? I got into the place and they have like 5 machines, but they have like regular Jersey Jacks. Like they had an Elton John, they had a Godfather, they had a Toy Story. So it's like Ken met me, the guy that invited me. He was like, Vic, what's up? And I was like, you know me? I was like, you know, he's like, yeah, Vic. He's like, go play some pinball. We're waiting.
On that note, how did they get in touch with you? Was it because of what all the chatter after the John Wick thing? Is it because you?
No, I have no idea.
You have a Jersey Jack. You have the Godfather.
I even said to myself, like, what video did Ken watch of mine to find me? Still no idea. Ken just wrote to me when he sent me the Godfather poster. He's like, we just appreciate the videos and we appreciate your positivity. We see all of like the shorts. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like somebody's seeing it. And then I got invited. So I'm like, awesome. This was just an awesome turnout. That's when I was like I always say, you got to post. Like just post. If you have like a 10-second clip, post it. You never know who's going to catch it. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't understand how I got invited, but
I just love it. I just love all the people that gave you shit after John Wick. And then
that's it. Like, yeah, that was it. And what was kind of cool though was that at this like media day, I don't want to say the people that gave me shit. It was the people that first began. They were all like, "Hey Vic, like, what's up? What's going on? I'm glad to see you here." And I'm like, "All right, this is cool." Like now I
They're
felt
all buddy.
Yeah, it was like I was cool with it though. There was still like there was people there that I've always known, but it was cool. It was just an interesting experience. We got to see a factory, so we saw the whole factory. We saw like people working. It was like wild to see like the factory stuff because you see just workers like working,
right?
And then like while we're playing, you hear like a loud like bong. And I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And like lunchtime. Everybody like stops. Like you're talking like 80 people stop and like go sit at like the lunchroom where we were playing. And
it's like the Flintstones when the dinosaur whistle like went off.
Yeah, everybody stopped. I was like, what?
These guys are like robots.
It was wild. We saw the factory.
And then you got an early an early peek at the version of Avatar they haven't even started building yet. It was like a hybrid, the playfield of one version and the back.
Right. So there's a whole thing with how like Jersey Jack works. If you've seen the trailer for Avatar, they brought UV lighting into like pinball, but yes, Stern has done that. But the CE version is supposed to have 3 prints of UV light. It's like one print is blue, one print is like red, and one print is like green. So that's the collector's edition. So when UV hits it, it's like a rainbow of colors or whatever. I don't really know.
I bet that looks real sexy.
Yeah.
So the hard thing was that they didn't have one to really show us. They had a prototype on the wall that's like, this is what it's going to look like. But the games that we played, they were all like the regular like one print UV, which for me, I was like, it's still UV. Like you shine a light on it, it was like something that was green turned like pink. I'm like, whoa. How is this happening?
Well, that was the thing. That was their kick is, in the movies when it was nighttime, everything became like fluorescent and glowing, and that's what they were going for. So I can't wait to see the final product on that.
It was like a rave.
It was just, like I said, it was wild. We got to play, not to mention we got to play for like 3 hours.
That's awesome.
Like I was blown away. So we got the factory tour. Then we went to do a Q&A with the team. We were just asking questions. I asked a couple of questions because I own them, and a couple of like negatives I didn't really like that they said, but it is what it is. And then we got to go play it. And like no joke, for like 2 hours, 3 hours, we were just flipping. I bought my cameras, only me and another girl named Erica's Pinball Journey.
Oh, I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, very, very cool girl. She bought like her whole like camera rig, like really professional. But then I'm kind of there, and I'm like, why am I and her like the only ones with cameras? Like everybody else just like had like their cell phones, but everybody else was like a podcaster. Nap Arcade was there. He like got his website and everything that he posts.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I saw it as media day, and I was like, let me do what I did with John Wick. I bought my cameras, and I'm happy I did because I put a video up showing the CE version, dude. And like I posted it today or yesterday.
Yesterday.
It's got like almost 3,000 views.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm like, whoa, like I'm happy I at least got something there. But then I'm also the type where like that's why I went there. Like I wanted to shoot a video. Like yes, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted it for the views.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's
and they wanted you there so that they could get your views.
That's what I figured. I'm like, somebody wants me there for that. I mean, I did the media for it.
Dude,
it was wild.
Vic, in the same summer, you got to go to Stern and you got to go to Jersey Jack.
True, in the same year. In the same year.
Yeah, and basically within 6 months of each other.
Yeah, I think it's wild. I think
what John Wick was what? John Wick was
March?
April or May?
April.
Oh, maybe.
You already went to John Wick when we were at Brad's because you were telling us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it was like March, late March, early April.
Yeah, when we went to Brad is when I went and I said to you guys, like, I can't talk about this right now. Like, I can't go into detail. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of that. That's wild.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Here for Vic.
I think it's insane.
Cheers to Vic for going to Stern.
Thank you. Yes, I'm happy to be a pinball influencer now.
That's so awesome, man.
I think it's wild, but it was a cool journey. But I just feel so bad that I got violently ill yesterday.
That's like Brad getting invited to Lucas Arts.
But it was a cool journey playing the game. Like, it was cool. It was definitely an awesome experience, especially because there was like other higher pinball people there. But I should have stayed like the 2 days. That was like the one thing I regret. Because sure enough, it was crazy yesterday. Right? Did this happen yesterday? No, Friday. Friday, we were playing Avatar, and they bought an Avatar to Interium. This arcade is like huge. I was like, whoa. And Interium had Avatar, so it was cool. They took us out to dinner there. And like at 8 o'clock, apparently Stern came. And like Jack Danger went and played it, and there was like a whole.
They came to throw down? Was it like the Warriors?
No, that's what like. It's actually kind of cool. They're all very like cool people. They're not like enemies. They're like, oh, this is pinball.
They showed up with baseball bats.
Yeah, right. Like, we're gonna break this. But no, that was like, I was like, damn, I missed that. But lessons learned. That's
Stern's in the corner, like, can you dig it?
But yeah, it was cool. I'm hoping. I said to him, I was like, I said to everybody, I made sure, like, because we met like owners, even Jack, like Jersey Jack himself was on a Zoom call. We're in a room and he's like on the TV, like talking to us. I'm like, whoa. That's cool. And he's like, I appreciate you guys coming. And I'm like, I just said like, I hope you guys invite us next year because
it's like literally the Wizard of Oz started talking to everybody in the room. So
now if you get invited again, especially since you were one of the only people that brought the video camera with you to record stuff, so you're giving them free advertisement basically. But you probably will get invited again, and now you know what to do next time. Bring your equipment, but go the night before, so you're not doing a whole 1 day trip.
I was. If you look at the pictures, like I was wearing my backpack and I just overdid myself. My wife's like, "You're not 20 years old. Stop doing that." I was like, "Oh, sorry."
I mean, you were 20 years old like 10 years ago. It's not that much.
Yeah, I know. I thought I could still do it.
Yeah, but you're not in your 40s like me and Brad.
The way I took it, that the videos I shot, and again on Pinside, the forums, I'm happy I took the footage of the topper because all of a sudden, like you see people like, because of your video, I'm buying a CE now, and I'm like, oh, cool.
That's awesome.
I influenced.
Jersey Jack is like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's excellent. Like, yes.
He did the Mr. Burns.
Yeah. The only thing that was shocking to me, and it's kind of crazy, I didn't know this, but apparently Stern's factory is 5 minutes away from Jersey Jack.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Apparently, so get this, right? Jersey Jack flew everybody out, and like I mentioned before, like I was the only one there, like early.
Right.
And then like at 9:45, like everybody came. And while I was waiting, I was talking to Ken, the guy that invited me, and he's like, I'll be honest, Vic, he's like, I think they went to Stern to play like X-Men. And I was like, honestly, I was like, wait, that's kind of fucked up because you flew us out here. Like
they had an opportunity.
They went to play Stern on your time. Like, I was like,
yeah, and then Stern's like stole all the influencers once they were already flown out on Jersey Jack's time. So,
and I'll be honest, I'm over here like I didn't get the invite, but it's all right.
It's fine because there was the live reveal of X-Men that it was kind of a disaster. They got flamed really. Yeah.
X-Men is a beautiful game. I love the way it looks, but yeah, everybody's like questioning the stream they did.
Yeah,
I'm questioning that third flipper at the bottom. Like I would want.
That's like a mini playfield. There's like a whole mini thing on the
left.
Yeah,
apparently it was draining balls like crazy, and the chat started getting really like, wait, are you guys do you suck at your own game, or is this game is this game just meant to like make you lose? So
it looks great. It was just if you know Jack Danger, he's dead flip. If you watch his streams, his regular streams, like him dead flip, he blows tables up. He's really good. Then it was like in the beginning of that stream with Stern, he even said like I have to make sure like to remember that this is not my stream, it's Stern. because he's the type that will like curse and stuff. So it's
and I get there were some people that were pushing back. It was like they're trying to show off some of the features of the table, so they're not making some of their most skillful shots. They're like, now I want to show this, now I want to show that, and they're letting the balls drain, or they're missing a good shot because they're trying to hit the score multipliers and stuff like that. Yeah, so it was more of a demo, not really like what real game.
It was just like a lot of people took that, and that's like the that's what sucks with gameplay footage, because it's a make or break. And unfortunately, with that video for Stern, people are like, I don't want this now anymore. Like, I just saw the gameplay.
It's like that a lot of people basically said it doesn't look fun. That's
you can't really judge it like that though, but
yeah,
it is what it is. And what's also shocking, some people, like one dude on Pinside has an avatar in his house.
What?
So they already shipped them out. And it was so crazy. We're playing and you could see like a team. The guy Eric, he's like, I didn't know this, but he's like, OSHA is a big fucking deal in this factory. He was like, you don't understand, like for us to move a pinball machine from like this side of the room to like 10 feet away, it's like team lift. You have to get like 2 people involved.
That makes sense.
It was like, wow. So like we see like 3 dudes, there's 3 dudes loading a pinball machine into a box. And you just hear like rollers going. It was wild. I was like, wow.
Meanwhile,
it was just cool to see, like,
I do this all on my own.
It's like, what?
Vic's like, I just throw this in the back of my pickup truck all on my own.
Yeah, I'm like, I got a dolly and I put it.
I take them up and down steps by myself.
You guys have team lift team, and I do this by myself.
It's wild though, but it was an experience, and I hope I get invited again. That's all I could say.
That's so cool, man.
That was wild.
It really is so cool.
I sent the screenshot to you guys, and I sent it to the wife and my brother. My brother was like, I'm coming, right? And I was like, I don't think I could do that. I was like, I don't think I could just invite you. I was like, no, let me keep it professional. But yeah, it was what a journey that was. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. That was we're all living vicariously through VP over there. So
also through Brad.
We're living vicariously through you. Brad, it's your turn to talk about yourself.
All right, let's talk about this shit. All right, come on.
Word. Brad had an amazing.
You were MIA for like the entire month of July.
I was MIA. Well, we're on YouTube. If we're talking YouTube, I've been MIA for 6 months.
Like in like our chat, like you were like MIA the entire month of July in our chat.
Yeah. So for those at home, like the Musketeers here, even when we're not live streaming, we talk incessantly through a group chat. So sometimes it's hard to keep up with these guys. They talk a lot.
When Brad responds, we're like completely excited because we're like, "Ooh, Brad, what do you got to show us?"
No, a lot of housekeeping stuff. It's weird. I really want to get back into some of my hobbies, which I took for granted for the longest time. Like the arcade stuff and the YouTube stuff, and modding, which I started back in 2020, and then for like even just back in I was making my first gun for IR, the pulse rifle, back in like late January, early February, and then like real life kicked me in my ass, and I'm just trying to just muscle through the 9 to 5 and doing family stuff and taking care of stuff at home, and everything's calming down. But for a while there, I was just never home. I was always on the road. I'm visiting family. I'm taking care of some stuff with my old house that I had to sell. Boring like adult bullshit. And I'm just so excited that it's all over, and that I can just try to get back into some of the stuff that I really enjoy doing. So, for example,
like going to the beach.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, just like go to the beach because whatever. I think I'm going to go learn how to surf today. Nope. I'm 47 in a couple of days. I've never learned to surf. So I think I'm going to go surf. And then I picked up a Tempest cocktail table, which my first arcade pickup in almost a year. So, and the just a little treat for getting through the summer and everything. So, but yeah, that was super exciting. Tempest is one of those ones that I always kind of wanted, but I always pictured the upright, and somebody near me had a so there we go. Yeah. So, yep. I was they put a bag over my head and I was gone for a while, but but no, this Tempest cocktail, they made 1,600 of these Tempest cocktail tables, and somebody was selling one and fully working apparently. And of course, when it arrived, the movers messed it up. So I was, then doing repairs on it, and There's a lot of my own blood is inside that cabinet right now, like literally.
Your hand open?
Yeah, I can't believe this stuff was actually commercial product back then. Because you know, talking like you open it up and it's all just wood and sharp metal. It's all rust. Now there's like things living inside these things at this point, but no. It's but I got the bug, man. I got the bug, guys. I was sitting there with the multimeter and I'm fucking with deflection boards and power supplies, and I'm touching 2 wires with my fingers trying to jump like the slam switch on these things, and I was just like, yeah, man, I missed this. I missed the hell out of this. So excited to get caught up on some of the emulation stuff too. So that's a huge thing, is the pivot from like, honestly, like the videos I did with like, talking about like gun games or emulation or cabinet mod bids. That was the most of it. And then I kind of got into the real arcades, and I think a lot of the audience is like, that's kind of cool, but they're really into the stuff that they can then go do themselves. Yep. Like, oh, show me how you do this thing. I want to go do I do
the DIY stuff.
Yeah, a light gun cabinet. I want to do pedestal guns. I want to do emulation. And I kind of thought that maybe I'd probably lose a lot of interest in doing this real arcade stuff, but no, everybody's been great, and it's a lot of fun. So, but on that note, I do want to do some more content on the emulation front. I want to talk about all these games that are now free on TechnoParrot. I want to finally get my review of the Zenus X Gun up, which I have opinions on the Zenus X Gun, because he's going to be hopefully going into limited production soon. So
nice.
Very nice. Of course. I have a prototype, which is already out of date, but it'll be kind of cool to compare and contrast it with like his production model. So, but yeah, that's I'm looking to pivot back where the summer's behind us. I did my travel, I did my adventure, as a wine and dine, and I'm ready to just be in my basement with you guys for a couple more months. So
there you go.
Wait, well, to be fair, we came over to Maryland. Now it's time for you to come over to New York.
Well, he did.
I went to Bix. That counts. But Joel also has an open invite to spend the night in his shed. So
basement. And if you don't want to stay in the basement, there's a Holiday Inn Express right around the corner.
I said that. He's like, "Hey, you guys are welcome. There's a hotel down the street."
It literally is. It's 2 blocks from my house. You can just walk to my house.
Come to Flushing, to my area. There's a sex hotel. That's one of my mentors.
A sex hotel.
A mentor.
Wait, we don't want to get crabs.
Wait, so what are you working on a video now, Brad? Like, because I know you just said that, but like, are you going to do now? Like,
yeah. Well, here's the thing, guys. Actually, so when I mentioned that, like, I wasn't doing a lot of YouTube stuff, I still was taking a lot of B-roll for stuff that I wanted to make videos for. So modifications to some of my real arcade cabinets. Atari Star Wars, I took a ton of B-roll when I was modifying that with like some rumble motor and custom chips in it. I have B-roll of adding the new ROM chips to my Smash TV that adds the pleasure domes and levels to the game.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I've got B-roll of the Zenus X Gun, including some of the stuff when you guys were trying it out. So I've got bits and pieces of a lot of videos. So hopefully I can just kind of like film some intros and outros and connect it together in editing and, get some stuff in the pipe, because, I don't want I don't want all the work I did trying to build up my channel to just kind of drop off because of 6 months no activity. So I want to get back on it.
Algorithm. We got to keep up with the algorithm is what we got to do.
The almighty algorithm must be satisfied.
Exactly. TikTok is really bad at that. Like, if I don't post for like a week and I go back to it, it's like you're building it up and then it just falls.
I will say TikTok is so easy to make content for. My TikTok is, I never put any, I do not care about it. There's no rhyme or reason, and there's really no thought put into it, but it's just something I did literally for fun. And right now my TikTok is, I've 727 followers, 36,000 likes. And I got some of these videos with 173,000 views, 60,000 views, 55,000 views. I can't
even get over 700. Fuck you, Brad.
I know, right? But it's completely random. Like, I'm just playing Star Wars Trilogy and it gets 170,000 views. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, the trilogy video I made at your house, I got like 180 views on. So screw you. And it was Star Wars weekend, and I'm hitting the hashtags. What's J-Pill referring to? What's the Gun for IR only build?
What build are you referring to, J-Pill?
Are we talking about a PC? Because we got Gun for IR builds already.
DIY kit.
most of the
we all
builds
have mini PCs. I don't sell builds. Joel does, but
Joel does, and like the default gun build is usually gun for IR. Like, right?
I thought he means like the gun kit, like the PCB.
Okay, so I've talked to JB.
Oh, yes, that's it.
Tomorrow there should be a fun announcement.
Tomorrow.
Already?
Oh,
who's announcing it? Are you going to announce it?
Of course.
Oh, your own gun, building your own gun.
Yeah.
No, he said building your own fun.
I think he meant gun. I think that's a typo.
Same thing.
Masturbation on YouTube is kind of a touchy subject.
No, I did my my last full produced video was me building my first gun for IR gun. That was the pulse rifle one, which I would then go and show you guys right now. But we know that YouTube will shut down the channel if we show a light gun on.
I thought Ray was going to whip one out before. I was like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah. No, I published that. I published my first gun for IR build it was late February. So that's one of that was a very. If you go to my channel, it's one of the more recent videos because I haven't done anything in a while. So,
did you do a video on the new one that you did, the new rifle? Is that what we talking about? I don't remember.
Manufacture your own gun. I think that that's the. Well, I made a gun for IR gun.
So if you mean manufacturing gunfire R as a mass-produced product,
like with its own custom shell, JB says that's not
that's not gonna happen for a little bit of time because
at least a couple more years because that shell you're talking about the mold is like $15,000.
It's not a money issue actually. $15,000 now.
No, but it's a problem is if the mold's fucked up, you got to pay another $15,000 to pay another mold.
That's not even the issue. That's the money is no longer an issue. It's a matter of time. Because I can't do it. I'm not the guy that's able to design this stuff.
Luckily it's dark.
Yeah, right.
The algorithm didn't see anything.
I know. So basically,
did you? No, go ahead.
Oh God, did I just get flashed on TikTok?
Brad, did you do the Star Wars thing yet? Did you do the game transfer yet on your Star Wars?
Oh, the Empire Strikes Back mod.
No, because you were debating on whether or not you wanted to do that, right?
Yes, and
well, in his video,
I haven't done it yet, but I am doing it because, hysterically enough, remember when you guys were here, I had put a Rumble mod into Atari Star Wars, the original Atari vector graphics Star Wars. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So whenever you took damage or blew up the Death Star, there was a Rumble motor in the yoke, and it was really cool, right? But the multi-game kit that lets you play Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars was incompatible because they both swapped out the ROM chips. Some of the ROM chips. So you could either do one or the other. And I was like, oh, which one will I do? Well, decision made for me because the Rumble mod has failed spectacularly.
Oh, really?
It's some kind of a voltage draw on it went cuckoo. And anytime you take damage and the Rumble motor was supposed to kick on, the whole game reboots. It drops power, it drops 5 volts for a second. And so anytime you take damage, the game just turns off. So I had to bypass. Right now, I've got it all disconnected. So I'm definitely ripping it out and doing the Empire Strikes Back mod.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Wow. Maybe is it a power supply issue?
Well, what happens is, and I was going to talk about this in the video, is because I'm going to start with the video, the Rumble mod. And the Rumble mod, it kind of takes over what was the coin counter. So the counter that how many games have been played. It takes that wiring harness. So it's also pulling voltage through that wiring harness.
Right.
So it's what happens is the Rumble motor, it was fine for a while, but now for whatever reason, it's drawing more power than that circuit can provide. So it drains from the main board and the board loses power for a second and the whole thing shuts off.
No shit.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's an easy
easy decision. On top of that, I went through a ton of, I have the Allen 1 Atari flight yoke, the all metal, high quality thing. And the Rumble mod is clearly designed for the original arcade yoke. It does not work well with the Allen one at all. The parts don't fit. I had this great thing where I was drilling out the metal collars and stuff because and everything was it was a disaster. But I finally got it working. Then a couple months later, it just blows up anyway. So
that sucks. But that's a no-brainer. Then obviously you're just going to replace the mod with the Empire Strikes Back one. So
yeah. So I'm gonna set up the camera. I'm gonna pull the cabinet out and get the Rumble mod uninstalled, and then put the multi-game kit in. I'm always super nervous because the last time I messed with the ROM chips, the game wouldn't boot, and I had to reseat everything, including the sandwiched PCB boards. And I didn't know where the problem was, and I thought I had totally bricked the PCB.
Oh. Whoops. So I'm thinking about doing that with Donkey Kong Jr. Because I got the Nintendo cab, I got it up and running, but there is 2 upgrades I could do if I wanted to. I can get this ROM chip called Double Donkey Kong, which is the original Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. And it only works with the Donkey Kong Jr. arcade PCB board. It has to be the original. So I do have the original PC board in mind. So I can do that upgrade, or I can do this other upgrade that actually Dave Sosa sent to me, where it has all the Donkey Kong games, 1, 2, and 3, and one is it's 1, 2, 3, and Junior, right? I think.
Wow, like a ROM, he can make the chip, right?
It's not right. Sosa doesn't make the chip. You buy the chip. It's like $400. But again, you need either the original Donkey Kong PCB or the Donkey Kong Junior PCB. It's the only 2 that it works with, and I got the Junior PCB. So I got to play Junior the other day. Before I think I got a short in the monitor board too somewhere, because I was playing the game and all of a sudden the monitor screen just went blank, and it lost signal on it. So I don't know if it was a bad 12-volt adapter that I have, or if I don't have enough juice running through it, whatever. But I still got to play it, and I got to level 2, and there's a glitch because on level 2 is the one where you have the chains and you have to push the keys all the way to the top. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember that level or not, but. So I went to go push the key up the first chain, and like Donkey Kong or Junior is going over the key, and the key's not moving up. So I don't know if that's a glitch in the game or what. And I went back down and I went to go do it again, and then he went over it like a little bit, and I paused, and then it moved up. The key moved. So there's like a glitch in that. So I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. It's the first time I've ever played the original version of it.
No, that is not how it's supposed to be.
I don't think it's supposed to be that way. So now I'm like, all right, well, once I get this monitor board and the sound thing fixed up, and everything's running kosher on it, maybe I'll switch out the ROMs on it. I'll send it in to get fixed. So I think about doing double Donkey Kong though. I don't know if I want to do all 3. So I'm thinking about just doing double Donkey Kong. Because double Donkey Kong, in order to switch, is where you just hold the 2 buttons down and then you can switch the game. Right. And then that also gives you the option to do free play and high score saves, because this game doesn't save high scores unless you're in top 5. And there's no free play on it at all because it's all dip switch. And the dip switch doesn't have an option for free play. It's only one single coin and then going up from there.
Which is why we always need coin buttons on all of our cabinets.
Exactly. And I'd like to do this as free play. And when I open up an arcade, it's going to be a free play arcade. So I'd like to have a free play option on it anyways. The thing is, it's a $300 upgrade. So I'm like, oh man, like I know it's tough because I've already spent the monitor for it was $200, and then the adapters for the monitor, because Nintendo puts sound through the monitor. Yeah. So you have to get and Mike's Arcade is the only one that sells the adapter for it. So now I'm like another 150 deep into the adapter. And of course, where are they going to make their money? They're going to make their money on the cords that need to go with the adapter. So you buy the adapter, but it doesn't come with the cords, right? And I bought all that stuff and I get it in and I plug it all up and I got a black screen. I'm like, why do I have a black screen? Like, I have everything's plugged in, everything's correct. I have one wire that's not going to anything, and it's a double wire. And I'm like, where? It says power. And I'm like, fuck, does this thing need its own power? Like, did they not? I'm like, where does it plug in on the board, right? So I pulled up the instructions. It's a 12-volt DC power.
So it needs its own.
Or you buy, if you have the Nintendo original power supply, you have to buy the adapter cord that plugs into the original power supply.
Oh, wow. So that's another one.
That's $25 just for that fucking cord.
I mean, at certain point, it just scrap the whole PCBs altogether. And
I was just going to say, I was literally going to say that. I was like, is this going to be better than MAME it?
Scrap it and put MAME in it. But no, I mean, for another I mean, I got all the cords coming in, and then I had to buy the new, the converter board, the sound converter board.
Right.
And it's also color converter because the color is inverted. So you got to buy the board is a color inverter board and a sound board all built into one. That's $50 plus shipping, right? Yeah. And I broke the fucking sound pot on it. So now I had to spend another $50. Yeah. So just in those two boards alone, I'm $100 deep into that.
And then you're so deep now. Yeah. Right. I've been there, man. I have I got an LCD kit. And I say kit. It's a 4x3 19-inch LCD with a it was for Xenophobe. I was going to do an LCD swap on there because I was having a problem with the chassis on the CRT, and I still have it, but it's a kit because it actually includes a chip. You can swap out a video output chip on the board, because otherwise you can't get a clean picture. Because like you said, all the colors are inverted on these old arcades and everything.
Right.
So it's actually like a replacement chip and a LCD and the same mounting frame that a CRT would have. It just got with the LCD in it. Yeah. It's a whole thing. And it's like super cool, but I was sitting there and I was like, man, I could have multicaded this for like a fraction of the price. I could have had like Rampage and other games on here. So.
Exactly. And I'm just that Double Dragon that I've been working on. I'm mad that I have to recut the
bezel
on it. I'm so mad about that. I should have just cut the bezel for the Phoenix 26-inch in the first place.
Yeah. Now these guys, Joel is working on a exact replica of Double Dragon,
but it's smaller.
But running the actual arcade hardware, but on a brand new cabinet, themed, modeled after the original design.
After going to Brad's house in May for that weekend, I got the arcade bug in me again. Remember I had all those kiosks, which I've gotten rid of. Yep. I got the arcade bug, but I wanted to do original arcades, and I have the CNC machine. So I'm like, why don't I just see how much I can find some PCBs for? Some decent PCBs, and then or some decent name PCBs is what I mean, and see if I can build a replica arcade and work from there. Maybe I can put a product line out, and how much is it going to cost? Maybe I can put a product line out. If for those people that want the original stuff, I can put the original stuff in it, make a replica, and the arcade would be a smaller version of the original version, but still almost the exact size. So I was looking up the Taito cabinet, however you pronounce it, for Double Dragon. And it was only 23 3/4 inches wide originally, right? And 70 inches tall. And then deep, it was like 32 inches deep. Right. It's pretty fucking deep. And I'm like, well, it doesn't need to be that deep, right?
No. So, what Buy Stuff is doing with their Super Sprint. It's the same dimension, but it's super not deep. Yeah.
Exactly. So I went 24 by 24 and 71 inches tall, which is the original cabinet. The original cabinet's 71 inches tall. So I went 24, 24, 71. And it's perfect, actually. But I cut the cabinet because I figured I would use 22-inch monitors, 22-inch widescreen monitors, because you buy that LCD converter for VGA, and you can adjust the screen on that. So I'm like, okay, so I'll buy that, and I'll adjust the screen. Well, Double Dragon has an issue with those specific converters. I went down a rabbit hole. Because
I remember that.
Rabbit hole. All right, so I bought the 26-inch Unico for a different arcade. I was going to put that in Sunset Riders because I have a Sunset Riders PCB. So in Sunset Riders is obviously going to be wider than 24 inches. I'm probably going to make that one maybe 28 because you need a little bit of a deck to that, right? So I bought that specifically for Sunset Riders. I wasn't planning to use that in Double Dragon. I was going to use a 22-inch, and I hooked up the converter board to Double Dragon and I tested it out. And the screen was flipping originally, back months ago when I got it. I plugged in the VGA cable to the other side, and it stopped it from flipping. I'm like, okay, great. So I went to go put that into the arcade. The screen's flipping. It wouldn't stop flipping. I don't know if there was an interference, what was going on with it. I started testing it on a bunch of monitors, and it turns out that the input, so the output from the converter board it's got some kind of issue specifically with the Taito PCBs, and because it also does it on Superstars. Superstars is also a Taito game too,
right?
So what you have to do is you have to plug in the VGA to the input side, and then you get no flip. But the problem with that is that you don't get the converter board options. So on the 22-inch screen, on the 22-inch 1080p widescreen, it's just 4:3 bricked in. right? I have no option to stretch the screen out and make it the whole screen and make it and use a 22-inch monitor on that. So I cut my bezel for that 22-inch fucking monitor, right? So if I put it on the Unico, I get a 4:3 screen on the Unico. I got a little bit of black bars on the side, and I can't stretch the image to the full one, but the Unico is full screen, completely whatever it needs to be. Now I have to recut that bezel and put a new graphic on a new bezel for the Unico, and I can cut the Unico, or I can cut the bezel, I can cut it in a little bit to block off those black bars.
Right.
So it'll look good, right? But I'm like, you know, I put that whole, it's one of those things, you put that whole thing together, and then you're like, you're right there.
Yeah. But then it's like the arcade gods are like, no, go back.
Exactly. The arcade gods are like, no, fuck you.
Yeah,
right? I mounted the fucking PCB. I mounted the fucking power supply. I went through 5 JAMA. I thought it was a JAMA harness. I went through 5 JAMA harnesses. I thought it might, okay, maybe that didn't work, right? I thought maybe the vertical sync was wrong on the JAMA harnesses. That wasn't it. I bought 3 more of those converter boards thinking that the converter boards were bad. That happens because they're cheap Chinese shit.
Yeah.
Right? They're junk, right? So that happens. You can get a bad converter board. I bought 3 of them. Still fucking doing it. I pulled out my monitor that was right here. I pulled out my 19-inch monitor that I took with me to the Comic-Con. It's all fucking flipping. I'm like, what the fuck, right? Why is this fucking doing this? There's no fucking way. And then I was just screwing around with the VGA cable, and I put it to the other side, and it just stopped it.
Wow.
And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Right? So, I mean, the original, what I like about original arcades, they're a challenge.
Right.
They're a fucking challenge, right? No matter what you get. This is why I don't trust people when they're like, oh yeah, I got this $1,200 arcade right here, and I'll sell it to you for $1,200, and it works fantastic. And you get it to your house, and it don't work.
Oh no! I learned that too many times, and I just went to go look at a silent scope, and the guy says it works perfect, and I'm like, great, I'll come look at it. He's like, are you bringing a truck? I'm like, I'm gonna look at it first, then we'll talk about a truck. And I got there, and it wouldn't turn on, and then we got it to turn on, and then the screen wouldn't work, and then this was wrong, and then that was wrong. Then there was it was also selling a golden tee. He's like, you interested in golden tee? And no joke, he just said that, and all of a sudden the monitor started making these popping noises, and the screen started flashing in and out, and it's kind of like firecrackers were in the cabinet, and it's just like, man, you know, like damn.
That's what happened with Trilogy. The dude was like, you know, besides it freezing up when it turns on, it plays great. Not knowing that the control stick had a huge issue to it and it needed potentiometers to it. It needed brand new potentiometers and rewired. So it's just, you know, when somebody's selling you an original arcade and they're like, oh yeah, it works great, go there and check it.
Yeah.
Go there and check it.
I've been so like
after that
hot wired over the years. In fact, on that silent scope, when I was looking at it, when the monitor wouldn't turn on, I was in there like, well, maybe it's something simple. I went back there and the power line to the monitor was coming straight off the power supply.
Oh my God.
And the line had a big black char mark on the white hot wire.
There's no filter.
There was no isolation transformer. And I was like, there's supposed to be, and I pointed at one of those other kids, like, see that? It's one of those is supposed to be in here. He's like, oh, it's never had one. I'm like, well, that explains all the burn marks.
That's a fire hazard.
Oh, shit.
Well, it's kind of, dude, the pinball. Remember, I thought I blew up the pinball?
Oh, yeah.
Because I bought the, what the hell are they called? The rectifiers.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hooked up the rectifier incorrectly, and it was just like, boof. As soon as I hit the power button, it went boof. And I was like, like I just bought all the brand new boards for it, and then it was just the main fuse, but the rectifier were still hooked up incorrectly, and I was blowing the lights.
And this is the kind of fun when we're talking about like building. You guys are building multi-cades, and we're talking about emulation. And we got Windows PCs. We're talking about graphics and upscaling and control overrides and all this stuff. Now you go back to the old school, and it's just like, okay, we're dealing with analog.
Yeah.
Analog everything. Analog video is a whole different monster. Then you're dealing with CRTs and AC voltages. Okay, nobody has messed with AC voltage in forever. But here we are. And so like on Tempest, I had a convergence issue, which CRTs, whether it be vector or not, you're doing that with magnets, right? So I get the convergence dialed in as best as I can. I have the monitor out of the cocktail cabinet sitting on the ground, and it was great. I'm like, oh, that's good enough. That's great. I went to go put it back in which case it's upright because it's facing up, you know, not on the floor. The second I went 90 degrees, all the magnetic fields were the opposite polarity and all the convergence.
Oh no. Oh no. That's one of those days where nothing's working right for you, and you just walk away from it.
Yeah, that's
you have to walk away because I was honestly thinking about my options of selling that template just like the parts only because I was
just like walk away. Count my losses.
Yeah, you just got to walk away. But it's great now, you know. But that's the flip side of it. When you do get this stuff working, man, does it feel like satisfying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I grabbed my other PCB boards and I started testing it. I'm like, it can't be the monitor because the monitor's flipping. I'm like, it can't be the monitor, right? Like it can't be the monitor. I got the Punisher, I got Sunset Riders, I got Mortal Kombat. None of those flipped. I have a Pac-Man board, but I didn't try the Pac-Man board. I have a Miss Pac-Man actually, but I didn't try that. And then I tried what do you call it? Superstars, and Superstars was flipping. And that's when I'm like, oh, Superstars is Taito. Like I didn't realize that at first. I'm like, it's got to be something with the Taito boards, and I just went down a rabbit hole with that conversion board for the CRT and then Taito cabinets, and it's just like, yeah, those specific boards have an issue with that, and you got to reverse it. Like it's just, I almost gave up on it. It was troubleshooting that almost the entire month of July, and that's one of those. It's not working again. I'm walking away from it. I just spent $350 on a Unico monitor. I'm walking away from this. Like I was ready to just fucking cash it in and put in MAME and just use Double Dragon dedicated on Batacera to MAME, like just like that. I'm like, fuck it, I did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Fuck it, I did it. That's it.
Yeah. Wow. It's a fun hobby until it isn't, and then it's like, fuck you, you're not going to beat me.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost did it today. I went because I what do you call it? I threw my version 2 of the gun box on the machine, but I wanted to test holes first, and I just started using the tabs, right? So I wanted to test the holes. I never did the arcade button holes with the tabs, so I wanted to test the holes to see if it worked first before I make the whole thing in there, and I throw it on the machine, and I'm ready to go for 2 hours. So I was testing the holes earlier, and the wood, whatever I had for the wood, it wasn't deep enough. The thickness of the wood in Carbide Create, when I'm adjusting the thickness for it, because you have to go deeper than what the thickness is. So 3/4 of an inch wood, you got to go 0.78 or 0.79, right? Depending on the wood. Every wood is warped. Every fucking piece of wood is warped. So I threw it on the machine, and I went to go test the buttonhole. And I put 2 tabs on the buttonhole because it's just a fucking small 30 millimeters hole, and it cut right through it, and it jammed the machine. And I'm like, motherfucking shit, stop!
Oh shit!
Yeah. So because the piece of wood got, it's going in a circle, and the wood got caught in the circle, and it wouldn't move through it, so it was starting to jam the router bit.
Wow, shit.
And it happens right when it happens. So you see the wood flip up, and it's not secured, and it's moving around. I'm like, all right, I can't do the buttonholes with pockets or with tabs. I got to do it back to pocket holes. Let it take a little bit longer, but it's a lot safer.
Yeah,
because it's all about safety with that. You don't want a piece of wood flying out or the bit cracking in half, and all of a sudden it goes flying.
Yeah, that happened to you during the summer. You had your shaft just bent.
Yeah, it did. It just. I was routing.
Joel's shaft bent.
What's that?
I was waiting for that.
Right?
Ray didn't miss a beat. Yeah.
Right. No, I was routing the wood,
so
and
you were routing your wood, and
I was using the plunger router, and I caught the corner, and it just bent the shaft, and I couldn't get that shank out. I just said screw it, I threw it out, and I went and bought a brand new Ryobi.
Hey.
And you know what? I'm happier with the Ryobi for some reason because it's not cutting the hole as thick. So I wonder if there was something up with that plunger router that was cutting in the hole just a little bit too thick.
Sorry,
that was for the T-molding slot. Hole and thick, giggity. Ray is almost done with that bottle of Johnny Walker.
Guy, well, speaking of almost done, boys.
We got to wrap it up.
Hitting that 2 hour mark.
Yeah. Okay, we're trying to be good. We're trying not to do all-nighters for our Sunday viewers. Anyone who's still sticking with us, we don't want to outstay our welcome, but we want to do this a little more regularly. How about that, guys? I said, vacation's over.
Just for me,
once a month, whatever you guys want to do it.
No, we can go back to the bye week. I'm away though from the 25th to the 29th.
Oh yeah, no. Our next stream would be what are we on
in October?
Our next stream would be the first weekend in October, anyways.
Yeah. We'll come back. We'll do a pre-Halloween show, and we'll
pre-Halloween show.
Yeah. But yeah,
hopefully
we're in touch on the group chat, and I'm gonna.
Hopefully the helmet's done by then too.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Costume stream.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right. I'll put the cowl on.
We can't even say bye yet. Ray's not even on the screen.
I know. What happened to Ray?
Ray went to the bathroom or something.
He's not paying because his mic's not muted.
He's always in the bathroom.
No, he actually has an actual
But he doesn't
mic.
have a cocaine habit.
He's not wearing like an iPod mic. Oh, I can't hear him.
I got the headphones in and I'm going like this.
Well, this was fun. This
was fun.
This brought it back. This brought back a lot.
I gotta work on my camera.
There's some stuff we didn't even touch yet either, though, too. So
I know. Well, you know what? We can't do it all at once. We got a lot of catching up to do.
Oh, he's on the phone.
Yep.
Oh, he's on the phone.
He's making deals.
He thinks that he muted himself.
This dude just doesn't stop working. I'll mute his mic. It just doesn't stop working. All right, so you want so next time we stream, let's go for the weekend of October. So 4th, 5th, or 6th. Like, I'm always down to do a Friday night or a Saturday night too, guys, so that if we want to have a drink, because it's harder for us to drink on a Sunday.
It is. It's a little rough to stream this late on Sunday for me. I got an early Mondays, but Fridays,
Friday might not be bad.
I'm always down for Friday. I'm
pretty sure Ray. Well, it's really up to Ray now, but I'm pretty sure either way.
He'll be down for as long as he doesn't have an AE mixer going on, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's got an AE mixer going on that week. I think he's got one the weekend before, actually. So yeah, I'm always down for a Friday night stream. I can't drink that much anymore because of meds, so I got to limit the drinks. But
yeah, quality versus quantity. We'll hit up everybody. We'll see everybody in October. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna try to knock out a couple of these in the pipe videos between now and then. So maybe I'll have some more content to talk about on my side. But I'm eager to see what you guys got going on between now and then. And Ray, we were just gonna leave without you. Welcome back.
No, sorry about it. My grandpa called me about tech support about how to forward a photo from his friend's text message to his other friends.
That's awesome. Ray, what is your next mixer?
My next mixer is on the 9th, actually on Wednesday, coming up.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna look into streaming maybe Friday, October 4th.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, if you guys want, I know this is to Vic is not a big problem, but if you guys would like to come over on the 19th, I'm having my birthday party in New York. We're
October 19th.
October 19th.
October 19th. Okay. All right.
October 19th.
I was like, wait,
in 4 days.
I was gonna say this week I can't do it, but
October 19th. I'm booking out the whole place, and basically it's 3 people's birthdays, and
we would be the only white guys there.
No, actually, it's me, a Latino girl, and a Korean guy.
Again, we would be the only white guys there.
I looked at my phone for 1 second. I'm like, what?
But basically, we're booking out the whole place, and this bar has a unique gimmick. The whole wall is an LCD screen. So wrap around. So,
can we play Marvel vs. Capcom?
Oh, we got. Yeah, can it play Doom?
Yeah, we can get it to do. Yes. We are the modders. We can get it to play anything.
Yeah. Actually, okay, one of us distract the guard.
Yeah, right.
The owner is actually my friend. So the trick is, I got Donna into Harry Potter lately, and I was thinking, 3 people's birthday or 4 people's birthday, we do like houses, like 4 people's houses, and then like.
Oh, like the Harry Potter houses. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I would totally be in the Serpent House.
Yeah,
even though I hate Harry Potter.
Yeah, we were thinking about that, like pick your house, and then like after we all hook up.
I don't know. We can talk about it. Let's talk.
Yeah,
about
let's talk about it, and then we'll if it's October 19th, then we'll still have the next stream coming up before that. So we'll see everybody on the stream, and I'll talk to you guys in the group chat in between, and catch you all later.
This stream is just for us having fun at this point.
That's all this is.
Everybody knows. Yeah,
always is.
Yo, I love you guys. I love everybody in the chat. I love everybody that tuned in. Thank you everybody for watching, and then we'll catch you guys on the next one. Looking for we'll post it. Don't worry. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.